Hello, today we're doing lesson 7-7, use models to add mixed numbers. I can add mixed numbers using models. Martina is baking bread, so now we're not estimating, we're finding the actual answers. She mixes 1 3/4 cups of flour with other ingredients. She then adds 4 1/2 cups of flour to the mixture. How many cups of flour does she need? So she mixes 1 3/4 of a flour, and then she adds 4 1/2 cups of flour. So how many cups of flour does she need in all? So here we are going to be renaming fractions. Don't get scared. And adding the whole numbers in. We might do a little reducing. So 3/4 plus 1/2. We follow the rules with fractions. Are the denominators the same? No. Can one denominator go into the other? Yes. So I can leave this guy alone and turn this guy into fourths. And I'm adding. So 3/4 plus 2/4 is 5/4. When I add my whole numbers, 4 plus 1 is 5. But I'm not done there because I need to rename this in lowest terms. So I would never say 5 and 5/4 because trapped inside that fraction is a whole number. So let's see how we can figure that out. So 5/4 is the same as saying 4/4 plus 1/4. Remember, 4/4 is a whole, so it's going to be 1 and 1/4. So I'm going to go back to my original answer. So now I've got the whole number 5, the whole number 1, and 1/4. So my final answer is 6 and 1/4. So 5 and 5/4 is the same as saying 6 and 1/4. Now that's adding a couple steps there. It's not just renaming fractions. Sometimes we're going to rename the improper fraction as a mixed number. So 5 and 1/4. And this is what I like to tell kids. You take that denominator, jam it up into the numerator. How many 4s can you get out of 5? You can only get one set of 4, and you have one little guy left over. So that's a way to remember how to rename a fraction, and we'll do some more of that in the next problems. And again, might not remember much of this from last year. So you can also use your fraction strips. Absolutely. How can you model addition of mixed numbers? Bill has 2 boards he will use to make picture frames. What is the total length of the boards he has to make the picture frames? So one is 1 and 11/12 feet, and one is 2 1/3 feet. And we know when we look at them, we're going to have to do something to the denominators because they are not the same. So rename the fractions as equal parts with the like denominator, and then just add the fractions. So 2 and 11/12 and 2 and 1/3, they took that 1/3. So they have, 1 and 11/12 and 2 and 1/3. So they renamed the fraction because they know that 3 goes into 12. So they renamed the 1/3 into 4/12. So now when we add our fractions, we have 3 and 15/12. And remember, 15/12 is an improper fraction. The top number is bigger than the bottom number, which means I have more than one whole. And so if you use my strategy, you take the denominator, jam it up into the numerator. It goes in one time, and you'll have 3 little guys left over. So now we're going to take our whole number here, add it to our mixed number, and we wind up with 4 and 3/12, which 3/12, 12 is not a prime number, it's a composite number. So I can actually reduce 3/12 by dividing it by 3 over 3, and I get 1/4. So I can wind up in the end with 1 and 1/4. And you can also, like you can see up here, we can use fraction strips and other strategies to solve that. So take a look at the next page. And remember, you can always watch the video for somebody else's voice explaining that. So When adding two mixed numbers, does it ever make sense to rename the fraction sum? Yeah, you always need to rename the fraction sum if it's greater than 1. It is the way we do math. We show our math in the smallest numbers possible in fractions. Yes, so yes. And you know how. All right, for number 1, I have 1 1/10 plus 2 4/5. Go through my strategies. Are the denominators the same? No. Does one go into the other? Yes. So I can leave that one alone. I only have to rename 4/5. 5 times 2 is 10. 4 times 2 is 8. When I add them, and don't forget your whole numbers, 1 and 2 equals 3. So we have 3 and 9/8 for number 1. For number 2, oh, sorry, that was number 2. For number 3, 1 and 1/2 plus 2 and 3/4. Are the denominators same? No. Does one go into the other? Yes. 2 goes into 4. So we can rename that one. That's 2/4. We're adding. We have 5/4. I know that's an improper fraction. I'm going to have to do something with that. And we have 3 and 5/4. Jam my 4 into the 5. It's going to go in one time with one little guy left over. Then I'm going to combine my whole number with my mixed number. And my final answer is 4 and 1/4. For number now I'm on, what did I do there? Let's see. Okay, now I'm on number 4. 3 2/3 plus 1 4/6. Check out my fractions, check out my denominators. They're not the same, but 3 will go into 6, so I can leave that guy alone. Turn that guy into 4/6, and I did that because 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 2 is 4. So now when I add, I have 8 6s. I know that's an improper fraction, but let me get my whole numbers in here. 3 plus 1 is 4. So I have 4 and 8 6s. Jam that 6 up into the 8. It goes in one time, and there's 2 little guys left over. So my final answer is going to be, not my final answer, it'll be 5 and 2 6s. But remember, even number. So I can reduce that. My final answer will be 5 and 1/3. And then for my last problem, for number 5, got the right one there. I think I'll need a little more space there. For number 5, I'm going to have 3 and 1/6 plus 2 2/3. Denominators are different, but 3 will go into 6, so I can rename this guy as 4 6s. Add 1 6 and 4 6, I get 5 6s. Add 3 and 2, I get 5 and 5 6s. So there we go on that one. And there we have it. Adding fractions, mixed numbers. Don't forget to add in your whole numbers. Most common error.